Hello, everyone, and welcome to another great episode of the Gridiron Glory here with Will and Tad. We talk about all 32 NFL teams, and today we're talking about a recap between the Carolina Panthers and Philadelphia Eagles from Philadelphia. The Eagles, they did win this game 22-16, so they do come out on top against the Panthers. The Panthers fall to 3-10. The Eagles remain in first place in the NFC East at 11-2, 5-1 at home. So yeah, it was a game that ended up being closer than you might have expected, and the Panthers, they even held a lead going into the fourth quarter when the Eagles, they get that late touchdown, plus the 2-point conversion to take the lead fairly late in the game, with about um about 13 minutes left or so. They get a touchdown. Calcaterra gets the touchdown. I believe that was his first NFL touchdown, so a big moment there for the rookie tight end to get that touchdown. And then they also get the 2-point conversion with Barkley. So Hurts, they lead that drive, and then Bryce Young, who's been much improved since coming off the bench. They get a good drive late in the game to put themselves in position to win, but then you got that unfortunate play where you couldn't quite connect with Leggett, Xavier Leggett, the rookie receiver, going for the end zone there, and you end up turning it over on down. So a lot to digest there for the Panthers, but it looks like the Panthers, since early in the season, they've been a much more competitive football team. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they have been a much more competitive football team. And, I kind of like this little bit of a comeback story in a way of Bryce Young, where, obviously he received the benching. He comes back from the benching. Um, and 19 and 34, 191 yards, a touchdown, one interception. His offensive line only allowed the one sack, so a good job there. Chuba Hubbard, 26 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown. I actually was pretty impressed with Bryce Young, especially in the first half of this game, Tad, who, was off, to a pretty solid start, and then obviously had that big play to Adam Thielen that led to a go-ahead drive. And yeah, Tad, where would you rank Adam Thielen amongst wide receivers in the NFL, who got 9 catches, 102 yards, former Viking?
Yeah, it's great to see Adam Thielen healthy again. He's been dealing with some injuries throughout the season. And at this point, I'd say he's fairly close to being a seasoned veteran at this point, but he goes out there and he provides a reliable target. He's gonna make the catches that he should make. He's gonna beat his defenders when he has a chance to. I mean, he's a guy you can trust, and that's something that a quarterback like Bryce Young needs desperately. So I
Yeah,
think
Bryce Young even led a pretty good drive there and late in the second half. Able to take his lead down to where the Panthers took the lead to go ahead 10-7 there, and then obviously on the very next drive that Bryce Young gets, he throws the interception. Mm-hmm. So just some head scratching inconsistency at times from Mr. Young.
For sure, and some of that is the Eagles. They do have a very strong defense as well. I mean, they've got a very good secondary. I mean, they got guys like Gardner Johnson, Quinion Mitchell, obviously DeJean. So,
yeah,
a very strong secondary. I'd say, I'd personally rank their secondary in the top, probably 3 in the NFL. What would you say?
Absolutely. Top 3 to 5 for sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but then late in this game, even being down 16-14, Jalen Hurts explodes for that big play down the field, and then eventually, as you mentioned, the throw and then the 2-point conversion to Calcaterra, and then Saquon Barkley punches it in. Yeah, Tad, Saquon Barkley, 20 carries, 124 yards. I read somewhere he actually now owns the single season rushing record for amongst Eagles all time rushers, passing LaShawn McCoy.
McCoy, yeah, a very big moment there, and I mean he's having one of the best rushing seasons in recent memory. I mean, seasons like that, and I mean, obviously, I'm a Vikings fan. It makes you think of what Adrian Peterson did in 2012, which was the last time a non-quarterback won the MVP. And again, these are the kind of numbers you have to even get in the MVP conversation as running back. I mean, it's turned into a quarterback's award, but if you challenge the all-time rushing record as Adrian Peterson did and as Saquon Barkley looks to do this year, I mean, I think you at least need to be in the conversation for MVP.
Right, absolutely. Um, so yeah, you definitely got to be in the conversation. If there was like a best running back of the year, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, him and Derek. I would honestly, okay, if I were to rank current running backs overall in the NFL right now, I would probably have to rank Saquon number one on the current season. Derek Henry would be a strong number two.
I mean, when they release like the all pro teams, I mean, Barkley's going to be one and Henry's going to be two, barring a drastic change late in the season. I'd agree with that.
So it's and then that's no disrespect to Derrick Henry.
No,
That just
definitely
speaks
not.
volumes to the greatness of Saquon Barkley's current season.
I mean, he's just been incredible this year.
A couple of weeks ago, there was a moment where, he was gonna break his all time record for a single game rushing, and I saw a video where Nick Sirianni goes up to him, basically tells him that he's gonna put the second and third string guys in, but he was okay with keeping Barkley in to possibly break his record. And Saquon Barkley said, "quote I'm good. Let the boys eat." He said he wanted to let the young guys eat. And Tad, I would like to. We talk about the numbers with Saquon Barkley and all that, but let's talk about Saquon Barkley from an emotional leadership standpoint. What like a moment like that where you have the chance to break your record, but you let the young guys go in there and get playing time. To you, what does that speak to him as to who he is as not only a person but a leader on that football team?
I mean, he's playing for something bigger than breaking records. He's a team first player, and I mean, you gotta think back to where he's been throughout his career. He hasn't seen a lot of winning. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. With the New York Giants, they didn't win a lot, and he sees a team here that they're gonna have a good chance to win into the playoffs. I mean, they'll be a playoff team. How far they go, I mean, sure, there's a lot of questions. Will they get past Detroit? Will they get past whoever they match up with early on? But I mean, Saquon Barkley sees this team and thinks we can make a run, and that's what really matters. I mean, team first mentality. Keep yourself fresh when you can. I mean, don't go chasing needless records. And I'm not saying like it's a bad thing to want to chase the record, because it'd be really cool to get your name in the record books and all that. But they have bigger goals than breaking records this year.
I just think obviously that's a big part of like taking a leadership role. I mean, you're the lead running back on that team. You're the RB1. You're the starting running back. So you're a role model. You're a role model, and you're a leader for the younger running backs. So to me, it just exuded great leadership and confidence, and it showed that he's truly secure in who he is for sure, just as a person.
Yep, I couldn't agree more.
So the Eagles won that game 22-16. Next week, the Eagles will be taking on. Let's see if you can beat me to it, Tad. The Eagles will be taking on the their in-state interconference rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. At home, 11-2, 10-3. That's going to be an insane football game between two in-state interconference rivals. That only meet up every 4 years, but still, nonetheless, it's more of a fan base rivalry than anything when it comes to things like that. And then for the Carolina Panthers, they will be hosting the Dallas Cowboys, the 5-8 Cowboys.
And I saw something that said they were favored in this football game, and it's the first time they've been favored in around 2 seasons. So we'll see if they can continue the Bryce Young redemption tour.
Yeah, I saw that on the ESPN Bet Facebook page from the ESPN Bet link. So according to ESPN Bet, Carolina is favored in this game. So so their first time that they are favorites since December of 2022. Kind of just speaks volumes to the struggle of the Cowboys, but which we'll get into. Eagles win 22-16. Did you have any other final thoughts or takes on the game, sir?
I did not. Thank you all for following along, and please like, subscribe, and follow the Gridiron Glory as we continue to cover the NFL season. Thanks for watching.